Welcome back to another interview. Today I have with me Ivan and T. Ivan, the mid laner of DOV Black, and T, the coach of DOV Black. What's up, guys?
Not much. Here,
Ellen,
existing.
Ellen.
Existing in this plane. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, let's just get into it. How did DOV come about from your eyes or in your standpoint, Ivan?
From my personal perspective, DOV pretty much got together just like any other normal team that you'd expect. I mean, of course, it has its long-standing members and like our I'm Just Crazy and Target Acquired.
Mm-hmm.
Both the top and support. They've been with DOV for quite a bit, and DOV they ended up creating like this platinum team. Where they just did tryouts, they checked everybody out, picked who they liked, who they believed in would be able to provide successful results for DOV and Duo Esports. And honestly, it was just a very basic forming of that team, and now we're here. So,
Nice, nice. How many trials did they have, or were you the only one? That's why I got selected.
I think if I recall correctly, there was like two others.
Okay.
So the competition, I would first say it wasn't like the largest competition. I think a lot of it was really like ADC, ADC. I think bot lane they had like 4 to 5 of each role. Yeah, jungle. I'm pretty sure like they had like our jungler was like the only one trying out for jungle. And yeah, it was very limited competition, but it was good competition nonetheless though.
Nice. What about you, T? How did you become the coach of DOV Black?
I got reached out by their team captain. I'm Just Crazy. Hit me in the middle of the season. Wanted the team to have someone to direct them and give them like goals and things to look forward to get them in shape and working out for reaching playoffs to hopefully win the split.
So, are you an overall VOD guy? Or are you a lane guy? What do you do for
Uh,
the team?
I mainly do VOD review and coach the team as a whole. I'm not a positional coach.
Okay.
I like to do game theory and having them set up things like, dragons and barons and how to play around objectives and win the game through just macro play.
Nice, nice. Well, a question that we ask everyone is, what do you do outside of league, outside of the amateur scene? What are some of your hobbies?
Um, well, for me, my hobbies, I like anything creative arts related. So I mean, game design, writing stories. I write things like for a living, stories, poetry, all that kind of stuff. I do a bit of YouTube on the side. But that since I've been busy lately, I haven't really like done anything in like the last week or so for it. And then outside of that, I mean, I honestly just like creating things. That's personally where my passion lies. I just find that there's something great about making things that a lot of people can relate to,
Okay.
and that's personally what I like to bring out into the world.
Do you play any other games besides league?
Besides League, so competitive wise, no. Of course, I play tons of like single player games, like for example, Plague Tale of Innocence. Some party games like Among Us. The Tomb Raider series was really great as well. The remakes of those. I personally prefer more strategy games. In the sense like I used to be a huge fan of like Warcraft 3: The Frozen Throne.
Okay.
Back when that was pretty popular. So I like strategy like bird's eye viewed games mostly.
Makes sense. What about you, T? What are your hobbies outside of league?
Video game wise, I mostly play strategy games as well. TFT, card games, Magic the Gathering, even Legends of Runeterra. I hit Hilo and play games like Minion Master. Just mostly anything strategy based.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any hobbies outside of gaming?
Uh, Gaming takes up the majority of my life, I'd say.
Okay. Hey, dude. If that's you, that's you. Be who you are, right?
Yeah.
So, you guys are in quarterfinals, correct? Or semis?
Quarters.
Quarters. I apologize.
Drop the ball.
Drop the ball against Beta Fox, right?
Beta Fox and TAS.
Okay. 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 Well, I have to admit, you guys were my dark horse mid-season. I don't think a lot of people had faith in you. I think me and Voss were secretly saying, "Hey, you guys should watch out for these guys. I think they're doing pretty good." So, with that being said, how do you view your first quarterfinals match?
First quarterfinals match against Neptune. Um, there's several takes that like I can take here, right? So of course, from like an outside perspective looking in, Neptune's 2-1 against us, right? So of course, heading into it, people naturally think they have the advantage going into it. I think one of the biggest strengths with DOV is our ability to learn, our ability to adapt. I don't think that there's a better team in this league when it comes to those adaptations. And a lot of these teams, when we first fought them, they got the advantage either, of course, due to other outside factors, which I don't really want to use there because can't really judge with that, but also by throwing out these surprise picks. And in a best of one, surprise picks can very easily swing the lead. In a best of three, however, I mean, there's tons of room for adaptation, which is where we shine the most. So I think coming into Neptune, I definitely think it's going to be close, but I do think that I'm confident in our ability to actually win against Neptune, especially because I think with how our roster has shaped up heading into playoffs, we've proven to be more dominant than them in our games.
Okay. What about you, T? How do you see that matchup versus Neptune going?
Look, just a refresher. Is Neptune the Fizz Aurelia team, Ivan?
Yeah, that is correct. Yes.
Okay. So, I think that before I started coaching, I actually watched that game, the Fizz Aurelia one, like as I was just freshly becoming a coach, and then the takeaways that they got after that second game that they played versus him, and then how they translated in the third game they played and won. I think that the team's very good at picking up on the subtle things that uh, how to adapt game to game, right, and how to fix the mistakes they made in the first two series. So I think we match up pretty well into them.
So, if you guys do win that, you're going to be facing off against Beta Fox. Beta Fox, a team that.
I think we face off against PSB if KSU loses because we beat the lowest seed.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm on the KSU hype train. So
I mean, you could do both if you want to. I'm just letting you know. There's a chance we face PSB as well.
Let's talk about it both ways then. Out of PSB and Beta Fox, who would you rather play?
Beta Fox.
Beta Fox. Okay. No respect for shrimp, huh?
No, I mean it's not a matter of like respect, right? I mean, we give respect to all the teams that come our way. It's just statistically speaking, PSB has proven time and time again that they're a team that can come up. They do show up when they play. I think with Beta Fox, I mean they had a good last few weeks. Don't get me wrong, and they even pulled out one against us in the tiebreakers. But the thing with Beta Fox is that they're not reliant on like their individual performances. They're reliant on tricking you out in the draft because they swap every single role possible. And I think in a best of three, you can't do that consecutively and get away with it. So I think with Beta Fox, because I personally think DOV is individually better than Beta Fox. Once we see what they're doing come game one, like we'll know what they're doing game 2 and 3, and I think we can very much more easily get away beating Beta Fox in a best of 3 than we would PSB, who don't need to play those kind of mind games to actually win.
Okay, and just for the record, semifinals are actually best of 5s.
Best of 5.
Oh, even
okay.
better actually.
Ooh, that's juicy, boy.
Yeah. So.
All right.
T, your perspective of PSB versus Beta Fox.
I think that I would take either team, right? Like I don't really care. I'm pretty confident in my team to perform, especially in a best of series. I think that adaptation to draft, we'll see important things going on from game 1 all the way to game 5 if it has to go there. We'll see important adaptations. So if Beta Fox does like to cheese and swap roles around, I think that we'll have a pretty solid answer for it.
Okay. So you guys or let's not you guys. Ivan, you're hoping for the KSU victory so you guys can face off against Beta Fox and KSU can get Pawn Sacrifice Black.
I would say I'm fine with either or. Okay. Like if PSB if like we have to throw down against PSB, sure, we'll do it. I personally think on an individual level, like we actually came pretty close to squaring off really well with PSB. The main thing, however, is at the time that we faced them, we were dealing with a lot of like roster issues and such, in which their team was able to shine more in that team aspect than us come that mid to late game. They were able to capitalize more with those rotations and such. So I think heading into a best of 5 with our current roster and how we've been developing since we actually got a solid lineup, we're not constantly using emergency subs and things like that. I definitely think like we can go into either or whichever match and come out swing,
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
You know, Beta Fox would be the easier route, but I'm down for either or.
So let's talk realistic expectations, right? So realistically, we would all say, probably the three of us, that TA beats KSU. That would put you guys against PSB. I'm sure you have yourself beating PSB. Who do you have winning out of the TAS Beta Fox?
That's a tough one. I think that one's back and forth. I would give it a Beta Fox. I mean, my reason being is that I mean TAS got beat us, right, and the tiebreakers, and that's a given, right? But I think the thing with TAS, they kind of capitalize on the best of one advantage, those kinds of like sudden picks and such.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, I believe that was the game with the Vagar ADC. We didn't see a Vagar ADC coming out, that those kinds of things. But I think overall TAS, I'm not sure what exactly happened to them. In the beginning, they were dominant, but as the game, as the play, the tournament progressed, it's as if they were up here, and they're still there. Whereas everybody else, they started here and they're building up. So
Okay.
it feels like they're staying stagnant in their person, like individual like abilities, whereas all the other teams are seeing constant progression, constant. And I think because of that, Beta Fox is going to come out on top because they are a team that has been improving lately, and that's a lot of momentum that they have. I mean, you guys went from like six seed or whatever the case may be, all the way to second seed. You know what I mean? That's a lot of momentum they got going on that I think TAS will be able to match.
Okay. T, what about you? How do you see the Beta Fox TAS game going down?
I don't know. I think that I'll mirror with what Ivan says. If other teams are scaling past it, it seems like people have their number now. So I can definitely see Beta Fox winning it.
So if we
But
go,
it is also,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but it is also a plat league, so literally anything could happen on any day.
Got it. I totally 100% agree. With that being said, that's going to put you guys in the finals versus Beta Fox. What I want to hear, not that you're going to win, I want to hear game score. What do we think the final game score will be out of best of the 5?
Against who?
Beta Fox.
Beta Fox.
Beta Fox, like TAS versus Beta Fox?
No, you
Us.
versus
Us
Beta
versus-
Fox.
Us versus
Finals.
Beta Fox. Finals, I think 3-1. 3-1 we win.
Okay.
Against Beta Fox, 3-1 we win. Like I said, I think Beta Fox can sneak one off of us because of their role swaps and everything. But once it's kind of like a magic trick. Once you know it, you know it. And you can't swap every single player everywhere because at that point they're not performing ideally. So really, all DOV has to do is understand what are they likely going to be putting their players, and then from there on it's just a consistent performance. We perform like we normally do, then we win like handily.
Okay. What about you, T? How do you see the game score for Beta Fox versus DOV Black in the finals?
I'll be real. I want a 3-2. I want to see how my boys look in a 5-game series. I want to see how I want to see their mental going into Game 5. I want to see how they hold up. I want to see a 5-game series. I want it to be competitive.
I don't know if you guys know this, but no finals has ever went all the way to Game 5. So ever in the history of Duo, IBSG, or GP has never went 5 games. So I'm gonna be honest with you, if that happens, it would be super hype. Everybody
It'd be a banger.
Going crazy.
It'd be an absolute banger.
So since we're done with the playoff talk and you guys got yourselves winning, a great opportunity has happened this year with Amateur Worlds. I'm not sure if you guys know about it yet, but the winner of GPCS Duo Esports gets a spot in Amateur Worlds. How fucking hype are you about that? I don't know if you knew that prior to this.
Did not.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so
idea.
The winner of GPCS gets a spot in Amateur Worlds this year. So, and it's probably the closest we'll ever get to playing in something that's close to the Worlds, right? I know it's going to be a lot of a headache, but
Can you clarify, like, what is like amateur like Worlds? Is that like
So-
just something like regularly run or Riot sponsored or what?
I'm not sure if it's Riot sponsored or not. But what it is, it's about 9 to I think it's anywhere between like 9 to 15 different leagues are sending the winners of their leagues to this event, and
Like an
having-
all-star.
right? And kind of having a tournament, more like a Worlds, right? Because it's the best team out of every league
Yeah.
going to
And
this event.
is it like all like same elo bracket or like different whole bunch of different ones?
They are not necessarily same ELO bracket because Diana, I'm doing an interview that's going on YouTube. Get the fuck out of here.
Cut that from the clip.
So it's not. So it's based off league rules, right? So if inside of this League A, they allow up to Diamond 3 or Diamond 2, those people are going to be allowed to play inside of the Worlds, right? So it's a little iffy here. Their details haven't been ironed out yet, I don't think, but still a really hype thing that a representative duo is going to get to go.
Yeah, no, I mean that's awesome. I mean, I didn't know that, so hearing that, I mean, I personally like the members of like DOV and everything like that. So I mean, whether DOV is continuing with the exact same roster or making slight changes moving forward, either way, if I'm able to compete in that particular tournament, all the better. I'm a competitor at heart, so if I can prove myself against the amateur scene's best of the best, so to speak, by all means, I'll take the chance.
Nice. What about you, T? How are you looking forward to coaching against some guys? I mean, some of these teams have paid coaching. How do you feel about that?
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna have to hit up DOV for one of those paid coaching spots. We're gonna have to talk about it. We talked about getting a jersey. Like if I get a jersey, I'll settle for a jersey. No, I'm actually excited. I'd love to see what I get to do with these players and pitting them against pretty like stacked odds, right? Because if we're talking, it's gonna be like a D2 maximum. I'm assuming some of our players are gonna be outranked just straight up like skill, like individually outranked. So I'm curious to see if there's ways that coaching and going through with my players how we can overcome skill deficits.
Yeah. Not hard guaranteed D2 players will be there, but I do know that it is based off the league rules. So if a league is there, if they have a representative, their players are based off their own rules, and there's not a set rule set.
Yeah.
Do you know when it like starts?
It has to be after playoffs. I'm not sure. I'm sure you can
Okay.
get the info from Shuno and Duo. So
Gotcha.
But guys, thank you for the interview. I really appreciate your time. Sorry we had to try to do it multiple times, and for my wife's peeking in, this is the second time she's done that. So, but thank you again for your time. Any last words for the people out there who are secretly cheering for DOV to just steal us away from everyone?
You got to say it, Ivan.
Me? I gotta
Yeah.
say final words.
I could. There's something I'm wanting you to say. Awesome wants you to say it too. If it
Wait,
ain't black, get him out the shack.
I'm just gonna.
All right,
preface that.
on to the next interview.
Yeah. I just
No.
want to preface the end of this with that is not a racial comment in the slightest.
No, the DOV Black is the name of our ticket.
Got it. Thank you for clarifying, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any words. Just if you want me to play a champion and pull it out and fucking whatever playoffs, just message me. I'll see what I can do.
All right. Well, thank
Yeah,
you
we
guys
want the
again.
karma. We want karma.
No, we're not doing car. We're not doing it.
Well, thank you guys again. I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.